It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Thursday, September 26th. We are close to the end of the week, although I feel like we're not taking a break this weekend. I feel like the news is going to keep coming in. I mean, last night, as I'm, making dinner and hanging out with my kids and doing all that, we've got all this political news coming in. Of course, we had 3 amazing hours of TV last night with Golden Bachelorette and Salt Lake City. We'll be talking about all of that. We have so much to cover today. A huge loss for the Today Show, of course, with Hoda. So, welcome to the show, everyone. I see your comments. I know that you guys are here. I know a lot of you are in Florida. I am thinking about you today. I am hoping that you're staying safe. I believe Hurricane Helene is supposed to make landfall at some point soon. If it hasn't already, I haven't seen. But I am thinking about you guys over there. So just know that I am looking forward to talking about everything today. We need something light, and we need to get light and tight, right? Today is a light and tight day. We'll get a little dark and heavy at some points, but in general, we're gonna stay light and tight. We're gonna have fun, and I can't wait to get into it. All on today's, all on today's daily dose of Donna. So a disclaimer, a short little disclaimer. Remember yesterday, insert clip here, which I'm never going to do, when I came on the show and I was like so proud of myself as a mother because I was like, guys, I got a tutor and his name is ChatGPT and he's going to help me do my kids' math homework. Yeah, I figured it all out. I'm really the star of the world. Like no one, I don't need help. I got ChatGPT. Well, guess what? Yesterday, I pick up my son from baseball after school and I'm like, "So what's your math homework today?" And he goes, "Mom, I have bad news." I said, "What?" He goes, "ChatGPT was wrong." I said, "I'm sorry. What do you mean wrong?" He said, "The answers were all wrong." I was like, hmm. I guess ChatGPT doesn't know all. So we need to stop trusting AI to do our kids' homework. So if you listened to yesterday and you went straight to ChatGPT to complete your child's homework with them, I was just joking. It was just a joke. It was just like, ha ha ha, ha. Can you imagine if it wasn't based in reality? ChatGPT it doesn't do homework. What are you crazy? No, I didn't say that. That wasn't me. That was the other blonde girl with the name that's spelled Dana but pronounced Donna. That was her. Sue her. Anyway, I will continue to just have to brush up on my own Singapore math skills. If any of you are tutors out there, hit me up. Speaking of hitting me up, you guys all get producer credit on this show. Every single last one of you gets producer credit because the amount of information that you are sending me, the amount of clips that you are throwing my way, the amount of conspiracy theories. And when I tell you I went into such a conspiracy theory last night, I was going off to the point where I got scolded by Mark Ward in my DMs. Mr. Mark Ward came over to me and he goes, "We got to stop." I got really offended. I was like, "What do you mean stop? We're just getting started, Mark." I was very, and he goes, "No, not you, like all these other people." But I'm like, "No, I don't believe any of this is a coincidence." Now, we have a little Diddy talk, but very little. Not a lot has come out. There's not a lot that's going to come out today. So don't you worry. It's not going to turn into a whole, um, you know, Diddy talk day until like some really important stuff comes out. That's what I'll talk about it. But it does get kind of interchanged in some of the conversation. Of course, last night was pretty insane to see that the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, was getting indicted by the feds. And apparently it has something to do with foreign involvement and foreign funds and accepting bribes, etc. But the conspiracies were going off because just yesterday, a lot of videos have come out from his former bodyguards, Diddy's former bodyguards, saying politicians were involved. Now, do I believe that Eric Adams was part of the parties? No. But I do believe that there was some sort of weird connection between Eric Adams and Diddy because a month before, I want to say a month before the the lawsuit from Cassie. I think that's when it is. It was in 2023. Diddy was awarded the key of the city by Eric Adams, and Eric Adams called himself the bad boy of politics. So we can or we can't, and we can decide whether or not we want to connect everything. I'm just saying that nothing surprises me anymore, right? Nothing surprises me. Money and power and wealth and connection. And I didn't even get into the Ellen DeGeneres connection that I believe is happening too here. I saved that for Zach Peters' show yesterday. And that will maybe be on Patreon because it's really deep and it's really wild and it goes there. Michelle says Donna didn't open my DM though. You guys, I get so many DMs and I try really hard, but sometimes with Instagram, if you keep scrolling, like if you're trying to get through, it all of a sudden just cuts back like 6 weeks. So if you have a very important DM to me, send it to me again. Like just say like, remember Donna? Remind me. Mark is suggesting that this time next week, the reason Putin declared war on Ukraine was to distract from a video released with him at one of Diddy's parties. 100%, I believe that. 1,000% Diddy is involved in the war in Ukraine. It's kind of fun to think about what Diddy did have a connection to and what didn't he? Did he or didn't he? Now, quickly, let's just get a little Diddy news out because there's not that much. Diddy is having a documentary produced by 50 Cent. And this came out yesterday on everywhere, Deadline, Vulture, Variety. So Diddy's documentary, 50 Cent is going to be producing it, which is not a good sign for Diddy. It's not a good sign. Why? Because Diddy is not on 50 Cent's good list. You know what I mean? Essentially, and I see, by the way, I didn't even call this out. Jen, you're a new member. Welcome, Jen, earlier on. So if you're a member, you get all of my members only access, which we're going to do another members only. Don't you worry. But this documentary is going to be, it says Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is producing a docuseries for Netflix. This is a story with significant human impact. Jackson and Alexandria Stapleton, who is directing the series, said in a statement obtained by Variety. So Alexandria is directing. I don't know what she's done before, but it says it's a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or clips we've seen so far. 50 Cent first announced the doc in December when only 4 civil suits had been filed against Combs. But now, as of yesterday, there's many more claims. And of course, he was arrested. So it says, we remain steadfast in our commitment to give a voice to the voiceless and to present the authentic and nuanced perspectives, Jackson and Stapleton said. Jackson is 50 Cent, by the way. While the allegations are disturbing, we urge all to remember that Sean Combs' story is not the full story of hip hop and its culture. We aim to ensure that individual actions do not overshadow the culture's broader contributions. So essentially, they're trying to kind of teach that Diddy was one sect of hip hop. And a lot of people are saying, who can I listen to now? Who wasn't connected to Diddy? And I think that there's some people that we know definitely weren't. Like Ice Cube was on stage the other day and he's like, I've never once been to a Diddy party. And I don't believe Snoop Dogg is connected, but I'm sure they know each other. I just don't think that they're connected like that. Now, 50 Cent's and Diddy's beef first started years and years ago because 50 Cent believed that Diddy had something to do with the murder of Notorious B.I.G. If you remember the night, which I had to do a refresher in the last week, the night of, there was 2 cars. Diddy and Biggie always used to ride in cars together, allegedly. And in this time, this is all alleged, of course, Diddy decided not to go in the same car as Biggie, went into a different car. He also told his bodyguard, Gene Deal, that day to ride with him or he's never going to work for Bad Boy Records again. And then he has his allegedly, Diddy had told his driver, run the next few lights. And of course, Biggie was shot and killed in the car right there at one of those lights. There's also a story about how Biggie's door wasn't opening, but everyone else's door opened. Anyway, I don't know. There's no way to know for sure, but it's just all the things stacking on top of each other just feels so connected. It's hard to erase your brain from thinking there is a connection there. So that's my Diddy stuff. There's like some other things that we can talk about. We can always talk about this, but I'm going to give us a break today because we do have some other good content. So let's take a break from Diddy today, even though you guys love it. And let's move on to some other stuff. This documentary. Oh, thank you, Suki. There is a documentary. It's a TMZ documentary, and it's tonight. It is going to be, I just saw the Talk of Shame. Kiki Monique is going to be featured on it. And oh my God, you guys should see the last like Instagram searches from my search. You know how when you go to the search bar, it says like all your last searches. It's like Ashton Kutcher. It's like every single person connected to Diddy. There's like Ashton, there's all the rappers, there's Jay-Z. Okay, Kiki said that she'll be in The Downfall of Diddy. It says Tubi, watch free. What is Tubi? Do we do Tubi? It says TMZ presents The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, tonight on Tubi, 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh, tomorrow on Hulu. Then you can watch it on Hulu tomorrow. I don't know who has Tubi. I mean, it's about the indictment. So this is not going to be like about all these theories or whatever. This is about where he is now. Emily D. Baker is also doing an incredible job covering it. So if you follow her on YouTube here, she was also on Nick Vile's podcast yesterday. She definitely knows her ish when it comes to all things legal. And so this is really up her alley as well. You guys are all saying Tubi, not Tubi, Tubi. To be or not to be? That is the question. So I want to get into all our stories. We've got some small stories that let's cover. You know, I like my little hot topics. So some small stories that I think are really interesting. Did you guys hear that Reese Witherspoon is going out looking for the next Elle Woods? Now, I thought this was kind of cute because I used to work in casting. And so, as someone that used to work in this kind of like open call search, for Reese Witherspoon to go on her own Instagram and say, I am partnering with Amazon Prime. We're doing a prequel to Legally Blonde, meaning Legally Blonde before we first met Elle Woods. And they're looking for the high school version of Elle Woods, which is so fun. Now, I feel bad for those casting directors. I'll tell you right now, because I've done these open calls where you have to find and if Reese Witherspoon is putting it on her Instagram and posting it, like it's going to get so many different people involved. I'll show you guys the video where she announces it, because maybe some of you guys have some young, beautiful blonde or brunette who can dye their hair blonde teens. This is Reese Witherspoon sharing her open call.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I have big news to announce today. As you probably know, we at Hello Sunshine are partnering with Amazon to launch a new television show called Elle, which is the prequel to Legally Blonde. And today, I can't wait to tell you that we are starting the casting process and we are making it open. Yes, that is right. This is an open casting for the young Elle Woods when she was in high school. So send your submissions to the link in my bio. I cannot wait to see all the Elle Woods out there. This is going to be really fun.
So I think it's actually really cute, and I look forward to seeing this. My kids will be really into it, at least Dylan will. Dylan, my oldest, is doing Legally Blonde right now for his theater production, just like a little local theater, kids theater, and he's Warner. So, it's a musical, of course. I wonder if this is gonna be a musical variety. No, probably. You know what it's gonna be? It's probably gonna be like a Gossip Girl vibe, don't you think? Um, Kyle Richards is doing something with Hello Sunshine. We have that confirmed. Remember, Reese Witherspoon kind of like hinted that she was working with a Real Housewife, but we didn't know who. And so Kyle Richards has confirmed that in her own Amazon Live. And because it's Amazon, Amazon Prime, Kyle does Amazon Lives. You guys, where is Kyle Richards? Like, what? I'm talking about Kyle, and I'm like, I have not thought of or cared about Kyle Richards in so long. I'm very interested to see with this new season of Beverly Hills if Kyle is able to kind of like get out of the bad side of the audience. Remember last season how much like we all were just like, no, Kyle, Kyle, no. Anyway, I believe that Reese Witherspoon will do a great job with this. Reese Witherspoon, I mean, what a hustler. This girl started as a young child actor. Not well, yeah, I think she was a child. Like, do you guys remember that movie Man on the Moon? Was it Man on the Moon? That movie will always sit with me like, whoa, it's like a tough movie. Um, but she's clearly created such a career for herself. You know, she has a bunch. Her daughter should do this. Like, why isn't her daughter doing this? Actually, her daughter Ava looks just like her. It's really wild to see. It's like carbon copy. I wonder if she just doesn't want to do it. Why would they never like? Why wouldn't they just offer it to her? I wonder. And then of course her son Deacon, and this is with Ryan Phillippe. And then she has a younger son with her now ex-husband. So she's divorced, but she created Hello Sunshine. She has the book club. She has all the movies producing. She's morning show. I mean, like this is a company like beyond, beyond, beyond. It's really an incredible. Oh, the movie traumatized you too. Yes, it was so the lawnmower. What was it? It was a lawnmower, wasn't it? Oh God. Okay. She was so good in it though. So that's about Reese Witherspoon. I think she's adorable. Let's talk really fast about Nikki and Artem, just to kind of like put a little bow on this. Not to say that there won't be like any bow put on Nikki and Artem because clearly there's something going on there. But as you guys know, Artem Chigvintsev, who is Nikki Bella's now estranged husband, who they met on Dancing with the Stars, pro dancer for Dancing with the Stars, was not doing this season. He was up in Napa where they live, Nikki and him and their son, Mateo. She also has a wine company. She and Brie are very connected to Napa Valley. And they ended up having this big, it sounds to me like a big passionate argument. He gets arrested for domestic violence, and there was witnesses that said there was corporal injury to a spouse, meaning we see injury. We find out, threw shoes at him from a 911 call. Now, at this point, he's arrested. He gets out on bail. She files for divorce. Yesterday or 2 days ago, the charges have been dropped. And now he's speaking out about how he feels like the truth has been, the truth came to light, and he is hoping that, this will never happen. Like he's grateful that the charges have been dropped. The truth has been prevailed, etc. But then, Nikki Garcia's twin sister, Brie, and of course they're sisters. So like, you're going to stand by your sister no matter what. But Brie alludes to lies after Artem charges are dropped. She says the truth always comes out. She shared a cryptic message about lies on Instagram on Wednesday. She said the truth always comes out in the end, no matter how hard anyone tries to hide it or stop it. Brie's post read, lies are just a temporary delay to the inevitable. Her post also revealed she obtained the quote from a Facebook group titled The Narcissistic Personality Disorder Mother Facebook Resource Page. Okay, that's quite a name. Nikki has not said anything in this, but according to Artem's lawyer, it says Artem was not the primary aggressor in the domestic violence incident with estranged wife Nikki Garcia. I will say this. I believe that it was probably a passionate fight between two people, volatile, passionate, probably somewhat aggressive fight between two people. And I still am lost on how charges are just dropped. I don't understand why someone said there was witnessed injury and then there wasn't. Like, it's a little confusing. However, we can move on from that. And I'm still on season 3 of Nikki Bella's show. Welcome to watching a live for the first time, Micah. Excited to catch a live, sitting here with my 3-day-old baby. My ovaries. 3-day-old baby. Hi, baby. Welcome to Daily Dose of Donna. Get ready to be addicted. Let's move on to another story. Richard Simmons. Did you hear about this? Richard Simmons, family housekeeper. Oh, guys, this is not good. But Richard Simmons, as we know, he has passed away. He passed away a few months ago, and he was kind of missing for a while. So no one really knew like what was going on over there. But he's having right now a war. His family, sorry, is at war with his quote unquote greedy housekeeper over his estate. This is a tale old as time, too. I feel like this happens. Am I nuts if this happens and has happened before where like a housekeeper comes in and is like, this is mine? So the family of Richard Simmons is contesting claims made by his house manager that she was pressured into relinquishing her role as a co-trustee of his estate. Teresa Reveles, the famed fitness guru's housekeeper, filed the petition earlier this week, over 2 months after she found the star dead on July 13th. The distressed house manager, Teresa, stated that she was misled by Richard Simmons' brother, Lenny, and his wife, Kathy, into giving up the role while she was at her most vulnerable while grieving for Richard. She further added that she was confused about what the document stated at the time and was never explicitly informed or advised on the issue. Days later, the family has released a statement of its own, noting that they were heartbroken to learn of Teresa's greed and insulted she would diminish their 3 decades of supposed friendship. So everyone is feeling really upset about this. The house manager, she says that, she was very, very close with him. She took impeccable care of him and he took great care of her. And he made sure, even after his passing, that she was going to be well taken care of. And she's a significant beneficiary in the will. She made an informed decision to decline to serve as co-trustee of the estate, but it doesn't affect her status as a beneficiary at all. Michelle wants to know, is she related to Louis? Teresa, her name is, wait, this is crazy. Her name is Teresa Reveles? Louis Reveles? Teresa Reveles? Wait, what if it's Teresa? It's Teresa Giudice. Just kidding. Allegedly. Now, I will say, by the way, Tonya, thank you so much. Or Tanya, giving 5 Daily Dose memberships out. I hope some of you guys got it. I don't know who got it, but hopefully some of you did. I believe that, in my opinion, this is a really tough call. And I'll tell you from personal experience, and I'm sure we all have some personal experience. My grandfather, right before he died, when he was on his deathbed, was given a document by his wife, who was not my mom's mom. So this is my mom's stepmom, who there was like a little bit of bad blood with, not between just my mom and her, but like that side of the family and my mom and whatever. And she gave him a declaration to sign literally a day or 2 before he died that removed my mom from a certain position in his trust that he had chosen. His signature was like scribble. It was not his like legible signature in any capacity. So I do believe stuff like this can happen. And it does make me a little concerned. It does. It makes me a little concerned that because you're supposed to follow your the person's wishes, right? If someone dies, if a very, very wealthy person dies and decides to give their entire life savings or their entire inheritance to their dog, we've seen this happen before, right? It happens. It happens, and you kind of just have to go with it. And I don't really understand how those things work, but you have to like honor what the person wanted in their will, in their trust, etc. So this does feel a little shady because it sounds to me like he wanted her to have it, to be the co-trustee. He trusted her and didn't trust maybe his brother. Was his brother and his brother's wife, were they close before he died? I don't know. I don't know. It's really bad. So that makes me sad for Teresa Revelis, not Ruelas. But maybe they're like somewhat related. I heard she may be also an investor in Venivia. Just heard it. Alleged. Just kidding. Conspiracies. So let's go on to talk about Hoda Kotb. You guys, this is a big one, and this broke my little heart because I love Hoda. I've always loved Hoda. Hoda has been part of the Today Show for 26 years. She's been part of NBC in that world. So most of us basically grew up watching her and have watched her over the last however many years. Now, Hoda to me has never really fully come back full steam in my eyes since the Kathy Lee days. Although I think Hoda and Jenna do well together. I just don't watch the Today Show. I don't watch the third hour. I don't watch any of that. Do you guys? Are we watching that stuff? Um August says, don't tell me she was at a Diddy party. No, it's seriously, anyone that steps down right now, I'm like, Hoda, you could have waited a few weeks. Like it's kind of crazy that you're saying it this week. But Hoda Kotb has finally decided that she wants to stay. We don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but she marked her 60th birthday as a seismic shift in her life. She sobbed alongside fellow anchors Savannah Guthrie and Jenna Bush Hager. And she shared the surprising update in a heartfelt message to her Today family live on air on Thursday. Hoda, who had been part of NBC News for 26 years, was immediately moved to tears as she explained to her fellow co-hosts that she said she reportedly earns around $8 million a year, and she's giving it all up, explaining that her heart is all over the map. She said, I know I'm making the right decision, but it's a painful one, and you all are the reason why. They say two things can be right at the same time. And I'm feeling that so deeply right now. I love you, and it's time for me to leave the show. And of course, Jenna Bush Hager was very emotional. She said she called her dad, former President George Bush. Of course, she called him to say that she was so upset. And he was like, it's okay. You'll be fine. I mean, Jenna's going to be the star of that hour, I imagine, of the Today Show. Now, she's going to be leaving, I believe, next year. So she's not going anywhere soon, but she's very, very sweet and fun to watch. I think it's the sneaks. Now, when I posted on my Instagram the other day that I'm thinking as I, am just eating my dinner, who out there, which normie has bought a pair of sneaks? So a lot of you guys sent me a message and said, well, Jane Fonda's wearing sneaks in this picture. And I said, okay, she was probably gifted them. Let's be real. And then someone said, Hoda Kotb is wearing sneaks. And I thought, okay, she was probably gifted them as well. So maybe don't wear sneaks. Like sneaks could be the kiss of, I think they're the only three people that Hoda Kotb, Gayle King, and Jane Fonda may be the only people that have sneaks in their closets right now. Andrew thinks she'll be doing primetime interviews and Dateline. That does make a lot of sense. Listen, I think when you have young kids at home, she misses every single morning. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what time she has to get to work. She's not in the first hour. Her hour is at 10 a.m., right? Isn't it at 10? No. Is it 9 a.m.? Someone tell me when the Today Show third hour airs. I don't know exactly what time. I want to say it's Today Show is channel 4. I want to say it's 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Anyway, I believe that she probably does gets to see her kids. I mean, but good for her. Live your life, Hoda, and we love you. Okay. Next. Marysol Patton. legally marries Steve McNamara. Marysol from Real Houses of Miami is getting married, or finally got married to her longtime lover. Do you guys hate when people say lover? My lover. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. She's on all 3 hours now? Okay. Okay, she's on all 3 hours. Yeah, I can see why she's like, enough. That's gotta be hard. And also talk about burnout really fast. Like, wouldn't you feel so burnt out doing that for 26 years? So Marysol and Steve McNamara are officially legally married. Of course, cameras are up for Real Houses of Miami, so I'm sure we'll be seeing it next season. But according to this marriage certificate, the couple who already tied the knot in a non-legally binding wedding ceremony in 2021 said "I do" at the Coral Gables, Florida courthouse. This is okay. This is not what? Is this him in this picture? Is this Steve? Why does he look like a completely different person? They're saying it's Steve on page 6. That can't be Steve, right? That's Steve. Who's this? That's so weird. She's like, this is Steve McNamara, seen here in July 2023. What? Listen, I love you, page 6, but there's no way that, okay, it's not Steve because there's no way that this was in April, this picture, and this was in July. I mean, wow, he got a body, face, and hair transplant. No, that's Michael Head of Hermes in Paris. Oh, God, get it together, page 6. So I'm sure we'll see that next season. I am curious if you guys are excited for Real Houses of Miami. I'm sure you are. I'm still so sad about Nicole not being on the show. I'm still so bummed about it. Like, I really like Nicole so much. I think she adds so much to that show that it really will be a hard loss without her. But everyone has to do what they have to do, right? So, speaking of TV, we got to get into Real Houses of Salt Lake City. But before we do, I would love to take a moment and talk about iRESTORE. Now, if you guys are watching any of these Salt Lake City, actually, like Salt Lake City or Golden Bachelor or Bachelorette, most of these men and women, they've got good heads of hair. And my guess is it's because they're using brands like iRESTORE. iRESTORE is clinically proven to help with hair growth, with hair thinning, with any sort of hair loss. And the important thing about it is that it has 500 LED lights and lasers. So when you put your iRESTORE on, it's so comfortable. The reason why it's always in the box next to me is because Lance uses it every night. I still haven't taken a picture of him. Last night, you guys, I was editing my Charles Ling video from the Golden Bachelorette. We'll talk about that in just a moment. I was editing it, and he comes in, and I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Just got to do my iRESTORE." Like, this guy's taking it seriously. He is determined to get his hair full. It would be really nice if I had a plug around here. I guess I should have thought about this before. Hold on. Okay, just pretend it's red because my plug is totally taken and I don't want to unplug anything. But this iRESTORE is really amazing. Now, some people are saying that oh, you can buy this one, you can buy this one. I'm telling you, this is a 12-month money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Yes, it is more pricey, but I have $625 off. If you go to iRestoreLaser.com, iRestoreLaser.com, and use code DailyDose, you will get $625 off. There's a ton of reviews online. There's a lot of people's personal experiences with it. You can go online. This is dermatologist recommended. Actually, someone in my DMs said that she has lost a lot of weight and has lost a lot of hair, so she's been using it because it was based on her dermatologist recommendation. So trust me when I tell you, with certain things like this, and especially higher ticket items, it's important to do the right one. Okay, so let's let's get into the TV. Let's get into TV from last night. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City we'll cover first, but you guys are definitely going to want to stick around for Golden Bachelor, because when I tell you, Golden Bachelor, really, that show, I freaking love that show. I love these men. But hold on, let's first go into some women. You can't have like a more opposite show of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Golden Bachelorette. But Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is glam, it's fancy, it's expensive, it's G-Wagon filled. There is something kind of funny about the G-Wagon, Lisa's G-Wagon, with bags of Wendy's inside. Like, there is a funny juxtaposition of Lisa Barlow and her fast food addiction. Do you guys think that's so interesting? Because Lisa, to me, well, she has a great body. She's in shape. I mean, she's probably one of those people that I don't think Lisa's working out, but she's got great metabolism. She's glam. She always has the most expensive stuff on, all the labels, et cetera, et cetera. And yet she is always getting her fast food. It's crazy. I mean, oh, Michelle says it's a huge Wendy's commercial. That's so true. She did just do a Wendy's ad with Shep and Austin, I want to say. And then she talked about Wendy's on the show yesterday. They did a drive-through where they even did their orders. And now I wonder what a JVC is. I believe they said, can I get a JVC? Does anyone know what that is? Yeah. I don't have a Wendy's near me, and I don't know if that's something I'm craving or willing to go to anytime soon. But just to see Lisa Barlow and Bronwyn in the car, Heather Gay feels more like a down home kind of girl. I'll eat Wendy's. I'll eat some, wings and beer. But for some reason, seeing Bronwyn eat Wendy's just did feel a little out of her element, don't you guys think? Oh, JBC is a junior bacon cheeseburger. Sounds kind of good. I feel like I want one now. So the beginning of the show is Lisa and Bronwyn kind of recapping the night before. Now, I have a question for you guys. Whenever they do these night after recaps, whenever it's the morning after and they're like, oh, last night, could you believe that happened? Do you ever think to yourself, do you really think this is the morning after? Because they all look so good and they were all drinking so much the night before. Do we actually think this is the morning after when they film these things? I always wonder that. So they're sitting and they're talking about the night before. They're talking about the drama with Whitney and the drama with Angie. And then, of course, Angie calls and she's like, Lisa, can we talk? And Lisa goes, yes. And Bronwyn is kind of making fun of Whitney in that scene when she was like making fun of the healing journey and her fillings. I mean, Whitney really needs to figure out better words that don't sound so obvious with her accent. Fillings and hillings. And Heather Gay gets in the car and they start talking about it as they chow down on their Wendy's. Meanwhile, we see Whitney back at home, or I don't know where she is. She's at home, it looks like, unpacking some sort of bookshelf with her husband and her kids. And that was pretty much all we saw of Whitney's personal life this week. We didn't see anything else. We just saw her unpacking her house and, putting books away. And this reminds me, because I really honestly have never seen anything like this. And I'm going to even pull it up because I found this to be so weird. But in the episode, at the very end of the episode, there, when they do the credits at the bottom of the episode, this comes up and it's hard to see. And I had to watch it like 3 times to be like, wait, what? Let me see if I can find it. Oh no, this is when Brittany's talking about her boyfriend, like FML. We'll get there. At the end of the episode, when Whitney invites everyone and she's like, we're going to get on a private plane to go to Milwaukee. This is what happens. Hold on. At the bottom of the screen, as she's having this conversation, it says, promotional consideration furnished by Xfinity to Whitney and Justin Rose. What's up with that? Someone do your research and tell me what's up with that. It says it on the very bottom of this moment. right before credits. It says promotional consideration furnished by Xfinity for Whitney and Justin Rose. Just Whitney and Justin Rose. I've never seen that on credits. So I just thought that was interesting. And I'm thinking, did they sponsor something in this episode? Like, it sounds to me like they either sponsored something or gave her something for free that she had to promote in the show. I didn't notice it, and I couldn't tell you what it was. But that's kind of all we got from Wendy. We didn't get Whitney from home. Now, meanwhile, we have Angie and oh no, we have Meredith. Oh, bless Meredith. You guys know now how much I love Meredith, but we have Meredith and her husband sitting and doing a cooking lesson. And they, of course, decide shakshuka because when you're going to be talking about bat mitzvahs, you're going to be talking about shakshukas. No, like that's not connected. However, shakshuka is a Middle Eastern dish. It's been around for a long time. We've already seen it on Real Housewives. We saw it last season on Roni when Erin Lychee was making shakshuka for everyone up in her, Hampton's house. So they decide to make shakshuka. And as they're sitting there and eating their shakshuka, Meredith decides to tell her husband, I want to be bat mitzvahed because of, and I swear to God, with everything that's going on in this world, I am so much more just grateful whenever anyone on any of these shows talks about Judaism, but especially talking about it post October 7th, because it's such a passion project of mine to talk about this and just to like keep up with this. For Meredith to say, since all of the anti-Semitism and everything has been so bad lately, and she's not wrong, I want to be more connected to my culture. It's my blood. I think there's so many people that feel the same way. You get more, connected to people that have gone through things in your life or similar experiences. And I just thought that was so beautiful that she's going to talk about that. And to get bar mitzvahed as a 50-year-old some woman is a big deal. It's a lot of work. Trust me, I'm starting to plan Dylan's bar mitzvah. It's a lot. So, I mean, the party is no big deal for her, but I love that she wants to do that. And it really made her husband, who I can't remember his name for the life of me now. Is it Shane? Is it Andy? Meredith and what's his name? Meredith and Seth. Seth, of course it's Seth. What a good looking family, by the way, because later we see Meredith talking about this with two of her kids. We have Chloe and we have Brooks. I believe she has 3 kids. Brooks, of course, as we know, is so cute. And he's going to be on that next show that we've heard, with Gia Judice, but I don't really know the name of it. It's like the next generation of Housewives kids. And Chloe, who looks like a carbon copy of her mom. Did you guys not feel that? Like Meredith Marks, she looks like she's gotten so much work done, but she must have not because her daughter looks just like her. They are so mother and daughter. Beautiful. But they're making bath bombs. And I love Whitney, how Whitney was like, never, ever, ever. I mean, not Whitney, Meredith. Meredith was never going to go forward on these bath bombs until Whitney said she had bath bombs. And now all of a sudden, Meredith's like, I'm going to make bath bombs in my kitchen with a beaker. I've got I've got a beaker and I've got goggles and the bath is my thing. Bath is my thing. And she says, until Heather came over the other day and said she was doing bath bombs, I feel like it's just so funny because Meredith's been like stalking Whitney's content. And Meredith is going to try to take Whitney's business down this season. We already saw another clip of that. But don't go after Meredith in the bath again. It's like getting a little old. It says, Michelle says Meredith doesn't know how to cook, but she's making bombs. Please. It is pretty funny. Like it's too much. Cindy says I fast forwarded that part. Can't watch her. Can't watch who? Meredith? I love watching Meredith's content. Anyway, she's making these bath bombs with her goggles. I mean, it's a scene out of a cartoon. It's the best. Lisa and Angie end up getting together and having a conversation. And obviously they're kind of falling on different parts of the, they're disagreeing a little bit. I don't know why Lisa Barlow is so upset about this podcast. these women do nothing but talk shit about each other on social media and on podcasts and on interviews after the show is on. Like, why is this such a big deal for Lisa? It's not like she said Lisa is a fraud. She's a criminal. She is, doing da da da. She just said she's the villain. I'm so lost why Lisa has decided that this is the thing that she will harp on forever. And Angie, I felt for Angie. She was like, you guys were not letting me speak. You were kind of steamrolling me, whatever. We'll get into that later. So, of course, Heather and Whitney end up going shopping for freaking crystals. If I have to see more crystals on this show. And Heather, it's like the same old, same old. Heather's like, I don't know what these crystals are. And Whitney's like, no crystals are ever going to do anything for you. Now, Whitney was like, Heather, I did feel like you ganged up on me. I felt it. It's my feelings. I felt it. I feel it. So they go back and forth about their feelings Heather's like, I didn't gang up on you. I just was feeling all these things. Something about a vagina. I don't even know. It's about the book. We already remember that from last season. Heather decides to put on some sort of promotional video to do something fun and adventurous with your friends. When Heather does stuff like this, it makes me feel like she's just bored. Like creating a video as a video message. So then she goes to they go to this high climbing thing. What's it called? Like a ropes course, right? They go to the ropes course. And this is when the episode gets good because this is when Mary's involved. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, I love this show, but Mary is top tier television. Never take her off my screen. The amount of comedy that she brings to this show and her lines are so good. So they get to this ropes course. It does look really high. It's one of those like really, crazy, huge platforms. It's giving Vicky Gunvalson in Real Housewives of OC. And Michelle goes, can this be the last Real Housewives ropes course we ever have to watch? It's so true. It's like these girls really, what else can they do at this point? They should do a escape room. We have to do something else. But Heather comes to the ropes course and she goes, just to give you guys an idea, I'm the most athletic and I'm petrified. They were all so scared. I think they all hated every moment of it. Mary gets there and says to Whitney, completely, I truly believe that Mary says this 100%. In reality, it says, I'll even show you because Face Reality posted it today. She says, so what happens? Like, do you just like die if you fall? Is that it? Oh, it's so good. Here's the little clip of her talking about it.
Oh, no, we're talking. If somebody falls, is like that it? Like
No, I'm sure we're going to be harnessed towards it.
If somebody falls, is that it? Oh, it's so good. And here's another one.
I should have got a quesadilla. That sounds good. I don't want to have to go number 2. I hope nobody heard me. Mary is so funny. She is on one. She is on one, and I love it. Yeah. Thank you.
Any salsa for you?
No, it'll give me gas. I got to drive home.
Earlier on in the episode, she was talking to her son, Robert, when she was buying him donuts. And she starts talking badly about Brittany. She has a bone to pick with Brittany. She does not like Brittany, and it's going to come out later. But she's talking about Brittany, and she's like, she called me poor. That's when you're not right with God. And he's like, huh? And she goes, oh, that's another conversation. Then he was eating like 6 donuts, and she's like, you got the munchies? Oh, it's so good. So they go to this ropes course. All of them kind of, buckle up. We've got everyone, including Brittany, who is quite annoying. I'm not going to lie. And then this new girl, Maylee, Neely, Nolly, I don't know. And we have not met her in an interview. Nothing. They go up in the ropes. Meredith stays down. Some of them are falling apart. Some of them are enjoying themselves. Then they come down, decide, let's go eat. They go get their food from the food truck and wine, and they sit down and they start chatting it up. And this is when Brittany lost the plot, because this is when Brittany says, ding, 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 cheers. Now, I want to say something. Brittany knows these girls from TV. Like, she doesn't know them in real life. She knows Heather. And it sounds to me like she knows Whitney, because she said she went out to dinner with Whitney once. She doesn't know any of these people. But she is like, Hello, guys, speech. Now, you would think she'd say a speech like, it's been so nice getting to know you guys. I know that you're all really close friends. Thank you for inviting me. This ropes course was really scary, but I'm looking forward to having friendships with all of you. Great, right? That would have been a great speech. Of course, she didn't. She said, ding, ding, ding. Hi. So I just wanted to tell you guys that, as you know, I am on again, off again with, I think his name is Jordan. It could be Jordan, Jason, Jonathan, Osmond. He's related to Donnie and Marie Osmond. He's a nephew. Who gives a effing crap? I'm with Mary on this one. So as you guys know, I've been kind of dating him and we've been on and off, but he ended up buying me a Louis Vuitton something. And then he made it Instagram official, which is like a really big deal because he's never done that before. So I thought to myself, what is Instagram official? Because on Facebook, remember early in the days, back in the days when you would first start dating someone, it would be real if you said in a relationship with and linked to whoever it is you're in a relationship with. But on Instagram, that doesn't happen. What is Instagram official? Does that mean putting in your bio, boyfriend to Brittany? No, you guys, not only did he not do that, he didn't even put a picture in his feed. He put it in his stories, which looked like it would go away in 24 hours. But the best part is the story said, pushing my best friend around Costco. And she goes, we're Instagram official. I have not done enough research on Brittany, but between that and not talking to two of her daughters, I'm not a fan. What a wild, wild thing to do as a 40-plus woman. If you post a story of you going to Costco saying, I'm pushing my best friend, that is when, I don't know. This is really strange. Now, Mary's like, why do we care? She goes, that's rude. And it is rude. Mary is rude. There's no question. But Mary's like, I don't even know you. Like, why do I care about your boyfriend? And meanwhile, Lisa Barlow in the corner over there is like, it's not official. This is not official. This is not official. She was yelling at Brittany, did you hear me? Brittany, it's not. This is not official. So everyone's like, hold your horses with this guy, because it sounds to me like you're really into him and he's not that into you. And I would be so concerned. And the second that they said that, Brittany's like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. Now I'm sad. Guys, I'm a little concerned about this one. Very concerned about this one. You didn't think about it this way until Lisa and the rest of the women had to tell you that a picture of going to Costco does not make you boyfriend, girlfriend. What? Like, I'm a little concerned about her abilities. Now, she says, Heather goes, guys, be nice to her because she's got a lot of stuff going on with her life. She has a lot going on in her personal, home, whatever. And again, Lisa on the other side of the table, what? Tell us what's going on with you and your family. Why don't they talk to you? Why? Like, they have no, social graces. It's so crazy. Tell us why they hate you. So Brittany just says, I can't get into it. It's really personal. My daughters don't talk to me. And that's what set Mary off. Now, this is giving a little bit of Emily and Jen from OC, in the sense that Jen Pedranti, not making money for herself, not knowing how to make money for herself, not understanding necessarily how to do this on her own, is giving the it's triggering Emily because it's reminding her of her own mom and what she went through. I have to say, this moment with Mary, when Mary explained why this person is triggering her when she says she doesn't talk to her daughters, gave me a feeling of, wow, there's so much about Mary and we don't know. Like, Mary didn't just become this way. Like, she went through something. And this was actually really good to know about Mary. Mary said, when I was a kid, my mom cared about finding a man more than she cared about the 5 kids that were at home, who hadn't even been fed, who were running loose, who had no disciplinarian. And she was out there trying to find a man. And I think that that's what's happening with Britney. Now, we don't know the whole story, but the fact that she's like so excited about getting an official quote unquote, relationship confirmation. She's broken up with this guy 16 times. You cannot make up, breakup, make up, breakup, make up, breakup, and go through all those emotions and also be a really good mom. It's just too hard. You're too emotional. Like, I can't imagine what my mom went through when she was dating and breaking up with guys and I was a young girl. It's got to be really hard. And no wonder maybe a lot of times I felt maybe neglected. I was never not fed and I always had a roof over my head. But it's got to be hard. That whole thing is, and it was triggering for Mary. And I wonder if she's talked to Tamara. Like, I wonder if her conversations with Tamara would trigger her as well. So they continue on. And then, of course, the stories, the conversation gets into Bronwyn. And Heather goes off on Bronwyn. Heather decides to say, like, Bronwyn, are you even who you are? Are you lying to us about who you are? Because it seems like you're being someone different to every single person here. You're being nice to this person now, and then you're being mean, and you said this shit about Whitney, and then Whitney thinks you're being supportive. And Heather is taking this to a new level. Now, I didn't go home with Bronwyn yet with you guys. What are our thoughts about Bronwyn? I think I like her. And I can't decide why, because in all reality, like, everything about her is something I probably wouldn't like, but I do think I like her. She seems like a very put together person. She seems like she has a good head on her shoulders. I like her kind of out there style. I don't know how to explain it. It's something I would never wear, but it's something that I truly like. I'm interested in her. Now, when she pulled out that statue that she bought right when the house closed, the 6 chairs tall statue, I thought to myself, uh-oh. It's a little out there, right? She's out there. Like, her personality is just out there. Reminds me of Cher from Clueless. Yeah, she definitely has one of those closets, right? That does one of those things. Okay. Hold on. Sorry. So, okay. Then. Oy vey. Okay. Right after that, they have a conversation. Then Whitney decides to tell everyone that she's invited to do a drag show in Milwaukee for Trixie, who we already met last year when they went to Palm Springs. I remember seeing clips of her being in Milwaukee with a bunch of the new girls. Remember, we saw this. They were on some stage. So this is what's going to happen. They're all going to go to a drag show. You should have seen Lisa Barlow's face when she found out she had to do more drag. She was like, no. Because remember, she panicked about doing drag last time. We're not sure if Meredith is going to join or not. We'll see what happens. So Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That's a wrap for the week. I thought it was a good episode. I thought it wasn't as good as episode 1, but I still think it's giving. And I'm into it. Are you guys into it? Is the question. Now, Golden Bachelorette, I'm not going to go into crazy detail. Once again, we're just starting to meet all the guys. But I will tell you this. Golden Bachelorette it's like mensch on a bench, okay? It's like your heart on your sleeve. And I talked about Charles Ling, and I want you guys to know something. I am now an official placeholder of the Charles Ling fan club. I am so massively obsessed with this man. If you guys don't know who Charles Ling is, he is one of the contestants on Golden Bachelorette. He's 66 years old. He had one person that he was with his entire life for 30 some years, his wife. They were each other's only loves. And she died 6 years ago. And he is struggling to find himself and to find joy. And last night's episode showed me that it's never too late. Charles is finding joy. Now, do I think Joan's going to end up with Charles? Not even for a second. Do I think Joan will even kiss Charles? I don't think they have chemistry if, it was just the two of them in the world. I just think that I love that she's keeping him around right now because he makes my heart sing. And seeing all the clips of him yesterday is I mean, I posted about it on my Instagram. Like, I'm so obsessed with him. Mark says Donna's in discussions to open up her marriage to Charles. Allegedly. I'm just saying if my name becomes Donna Lang. It ain't me. It ain't me. Okay, Charles. Charles in charge. He even said Charles is not in charge at one point. He said Joan is in charge. Charles is not in charge. He's so damn cute. But this is the interesting thing. So you have a bunch of guys that are now moving into the house and you see them all in their rooms together. Now, I don't know about you guys, but older men are probably pretty set in their ways. You know, men, like they're set in their ways. They don't know what the hell they're doing, I think, half the time. But maybe a lot of them do because they've been solo. Pascal's never done laundry. 97% of them snore all night. They have to sleep in freaking bunk bed, twin bunk beds. These are like 69-year-old men sleeping in a twin bunk bed. I mean, it's fun, whatever, but I can only imagine how gross it all is and like the smells. Like I can just imagine. That being said, Charles took the top bunk. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. And the first date was a group date. It was a group date to prom. And all the guys, the few guys that had to get dressed up, they put on these like old school outfits. They went to prom. I only can imagine how cheesy this thing was in real life. It was shot in the middle of the day with a bunch of extras at a high school. It looked embarrassingly bad, but they were like playing some ring toss game. They were pretending to pour some alcohol in the fruit punch. But then Taylor Dayne showed up, and that's when the party started, okay? Tell it to my heart. That is my childhood. Taylor Dayne was my first cassette. I remember buying it from the Fox Hills Mall in Culver City. I loved Taylor Dayne. With every beat. Oh my God, there's nothing better, right? Manette wants to know if any of them have a CPAP machine. I've thought about this because Lance has a CPAP machine. So many men get CPAP machines as they get older. But I do remember on Love is Blind, one of the guys, younger guys, had a CPAP and didn't bring it to the house, which I always found so interesting. So, like, and then when they went on their Mexican vacation, he didn't have a CPAP with him. His girl only found out he had the CPAP when he was back in his hometown. So I'm always interested about this because, like, are they all plugging in CPAP machines? I just can't imagine that. But Pascal not knowing how to do his laundry, you guys, all I know about Pascal, he's so damn loaded. And I know that because I've heard that from Lance also. This is a rich guy. He wears all Gucci, all Hermes, all Chanel, all like he is cream of the crop. This is so weird that he's on this show. Like you would think that Pascal, being who he is with his career and his money and his good looks, he's very good looking, French. You would think he would like find some chick easily. It's so weird that he's on the Golden Bachelorette. But if she wants to be taken care of in her older years, Pascal is the way to go. I'm just going to say. Anyway, they go to prom. It was a really cute prom, except Charles like felt like a little bit lonely. He was like, I don't really know how to, do this. I've never dated anyone before. And when I tell you, there was a scene where he called his daughter and he tried to explain to her. I wonder if I can share it with you because I took video. I don't want to share my whole Instagram. But he called his daughter and they made him do that, obviously, to like share about his experience. And this was so sweet. Okay, here is all the videos of Charles last night. Hold on. This is my photo roll in case you're wondering. It's literally just all Charles. Hold on. Where is the scene where he's talking? Oh, so sweet. Wait. Okay. Tell me if you guys can hear it when I press play. I can't make it louder. Okay, you guys can't hear it. Okay, so basically, thank you for telling me. I don't know why I can't make it louder. It's not like giving me an option other than what I can do here. But essentially, he talks about how he has been all alone and he's trying to find the joy in life. And so he calls his daughter, who tells him, Dad, it sounds to me like you're having a really fun time. And he goes, I am. And then he goes to his daughter, he goes, I'll talk to you soon. Okay. I'll talk to you in the next time. When I tell you, he really, truly made me so happy. He says, sometimes I shut myself and isolate in a sense because of the sorrow and the sadness. And now he's finally feeling like he's kind of, finding his joy. And if you take anything from the show, it's like these people are getting a second chance at life. And to me, it's just so sweet to see, like, that's why I loved Golden Bachelorette too, to see these women and men in their third chapters finally, like, I don't know. I'm just like, I want to cry. I cried when he was talking to his daughter. And then just to kind of let it be, I need to show you guys Charles dancing because this made me so happy. You don't need to hear this, okay? This is just for visual. That's Taylor Dane dancing. There's Charles. Now, I want to also do one more thing because I just noticed it right now. Please pay attention to the man behind Charles. I forget his name. The tall guy who has a lesbian daughter. Forget his name, but please watch this. Look at him in the back. Did you guys see the Wait, did you guys see the hop? Okay, hold on. I need you guys to watch the guy back here. This is a moment. Am I having too much fun with this? I am not. I am The dancing was wild. We saw this. Look at this guy. Oh my God, I would have died. Charles is the man, though. I just want Charles to be happy in his life. Like, that's all I want. And I think it's going to work. I think the show is going to actually make Charles happy, whether or not he stays for a long time. She also had some one-on-one. She had a great one-on-one with this guy named Chalk. That's not a mispronunciation. His name is Chalk, spelled Chock. They went to Disneyland. Adorable. Had the best day ever. What would you guys do if you were at Disneyland and saw Golden Bachelorette on Thunder Mountain? So sweet. And then there was, of course, another group date where they went to a talent show. They always put these bachelors and bachelorettes through the most uncomfortable experiences ever. But some of the guys were a little funny. Some of the guys had talents. But then the one, Pascal cut a wig. That was wild. It was giving very, she said Pascal Scissorhands. He was like cutting it all. And then at the end, the one guy, like I said, I'm still learning all their names. He was like, I'm very nervous because I have a familial tremor. I have a generational tremor, meaning like it's come down because my dad had it, meaning his hand is very shaky. And he was like, I'm nervous to do this on stage. And it was like a big fear of his, but he got those ribbons, those like ribbon dancing. Cause he's like, I don't have a talent. And he comes up there and he's like this, but he made it, sweet. And he kind of shared that like, I have, a tremor. And then he did the dance anyway. And he ended up getting the rose and getting the one-on-one little date with her after that. And when they were holding hands, he was like, do you feel my tremor when I'm holding your hand? And she goes, no, not really. And he goes, well, that's all that matters. Come on, guys. This is too much for my heart. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I can't ever go back to watching the young ones after watching this. Like, it's just wholesome. It's wholesome. It's good. It's lovely. It makes me happy. All these men have crazy, amazing stories. They've all gone through a lot of loss, a lot of life. and I really like it. It's a great show. Okay, tomorrow we will be talking all about Real Housewives of OC, maybe more on Diddy, maybe someone else will get indicted, and maybe someone can indict Sneaks. We'll see. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. As always, we will talk tomorrow morning on Daily Dose of Donna. Sing us out, Donna. Sing us out. Okay. Okay. Tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Is it really love or just a game? You guys have an amazing night. I hope you're okay in Florida. Josh, I see you. Ray, I see you. All of my Florida dosers, love you. Join the Facebook group. I asked about it in there. Daily Dose of Donna. See you tomorrow. Bye.